I'd like to cover another topic in FilePro now. This will be indexes and index maintenance. It's over here on the other side of the menu, the non-creation side of the menu, the runtime menu, because there are times when regular users, plain old average regular users, not developers or programmers, have to create an index or fix one, or perhaps they can make a special index that will help them do something. You really hope that they never mess up the indexes that you set up, which are absolutely critical, that they stay unmarred and unchanged, untampered with by anyone else. And if you have reason to, and if you're smart enough or dumb enough to give the index maintenance ability to a user, then you know why you want to do it and why you have to do it. Generally, I don't let users see index maintenance. I keep track of them myself, and there's never really a time or place where they need to create their own index. But in case they do, they're fully covered under the runtime tutorial. I'm going to cover them here from a programmer standpoint. To do that, I'm going to go into the file. I'm going to go actually into Inquire Update and add in the file first. We'll just take a look at it. Hey, remember that we've been using the customer code. For instance, here's the last name, Groover, and I gave it the customer code of GROO0000. Okay, this next person is Anita Gronwalt. I just made up a lot of these names, and I gave that GRON0000. And again, here's, I seem to be taking, here's ANTH1000. It's some combination of letters that give me a rough idea of who this person is and so forth. Here's one without a customer code. Very bad, very good. A lot of these have no customer codes. Okay. In fact, I'm going to make a default browse format. I'm going to go up here and I pressed B for browse and then F for format. I'm going to build a format that we can use. This is very important. The first thing I'm going to want on the format is the customer code. So I'm pressing next page, and the customer code is field 19. So I'll put customer code here in 19. And I know it's 8 characters long. We remember that from when we built it. Here I'm going to put company. We'll put that a fairly long distance, not too long. We'll stop it right here with a pipe. And now we have company. And after the pipe, we'll put contact name. How about contact? Just good enough. And here we'll put the last name of the contact, which is field 2. Okay. Let's put, just so we have some piece of data to look at, we'll put their year-to-date balance. Or year-to-date sales, rather, is what it is here. And that year-to-date sales we put at field 25. Okay. This is a really pretty simple browse format. I'm going to press escape, and I press S and save it. And I'm going to save it under the name default so that it always comes up. This is the browse that will always appear. And you see that it's showing us the name, the company, a little pipe until last name. And I'm going to fix this up just a little bit. There's not enough room between the company and the contact, so let's push that way over there. Okay, and maybe we'll push this ahead too. Okay. So now we have a pretty good sized company, the contact name. Actually, let's even do this. For contact, we'll switch this to last name. And last name we know is 15 characters long, so I can press F5 to make sure, yes it is. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely going to fit here without a problem. Okay, and let's push this a little further. And let's put last name, we'll put the first name. Normally we might not do this, but let's put the first name, which okay. Now I'm going to save these changes. Take a look. Okay, this is giving us a pretty readable thing. It's got the company separate. Now let's look on the next page down to see if I can find anything with customer codes. There we go. There's one with a customer code. A couple with a customer code. Next page, next page. There are just a few things in this file right now that actually have customer codes. Why are customer codes important? Well, if you have any, for the same reason that a unique code is important in any file, you have to uniquely be able to identify any record other than the record number, because there are times when, if you have, say, 200,000 records in a file, and 50,000 of them are not used anymore or archivable to another file, they're old records, you never want to see them again, but you want to keep them around, maybe you archive them into another file, and you take that record number, you dump its contents to some other place, now you have a free record number. And it's going to take up space in that file. So the best thing to do is to compress the file and move all the records that are, down from the 200,000th record down into free records that have been removed, been given to you by removing old ones. Now all your record numbers, which used to refer to a record, will be different. If you're compressing files and such, record numbers become very useless to you. They're not unique identifier. They may change at any minute. You may delete a piece of data, delete any record. Now you delete that record, the next time you go to add records, it's very likely that's the record that's going to be handed to you to put new data on. So if you refer to you should never ever refer to any kind of FilePro record by its record number in any of your processing. Almost never. There are times when it's very, very useful. I'll try and show you some of those. But in any case, we need a unique number to say, I want to go right to the record for, whoever it is. In this case, it's Forum Plaza. Okay, I definitely want to go right to the Forum Plaza record. How can I do that? If I hit 4 for indexing to get to it, I have an index that we built on state in here. But I'm going to remove this index. I'm going to go into index maintenance now, and I'm going to start trying to build an index on the customer code. So I'm going to pick A, and instead of 7, which is the state, I'm going to build one on customer code, which is field 19. FilePro suggests that that's 8 characters long. Wants to know if I want it descending. No, I don't want it to come in reverse alphabetical order. I don't want the customer code to come backwards, these first, when I look at this index. For right now, customer code is fine. I'm going to press escape, escape. I rebuilt that index. Now I'm going to go back into our file. I'm going to go look at press 4 for indexes. Now the one index I have is built on customer code. I pressed it. Now, if I leave this entry blank, I'm going to get the first one in the index. The first one, it's always, if you leave the key field blank that you're searching by and press enter, you get the first one in that index. Now, let's go to the browse mode. It's blank. The customer code is blank. That is the lowest alphabetical key in this index. And guess what? There are a whole bunch of blank ones. So this is no unique way. I still can't find any kind of unique record. Here's a guy with absolutely no company. He also has a blank customer code. If I keep going to the end of the file, I see that there really only are 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever records that have customer codes. Now, let's say I know that there is a customer code and I have to go to it. If I go back to the index by pressing delete, delete, and I type bill and I hit enter, it's going to take me right directly to the first indexed bill. The first thing in the index that comes close, starting with BILL. Now that I see I'm on bill 10000, I got the exact record I wanted because I was able to use an index. If I were to scan for anything, scan for a record, it doesn't know how to go directly to any records and scan. If I say I want customer code, which is field 19, equal to bill, that's fine. I'll get it. And on today's systems, it's going to be very quick. Press escape, escape, takes me right to it. But let's say that was the 20,000th record in this file. It might take a lot longer because scan for records stops on every record and says, are you equal to bill? Are you equal to bill? And keeps stopping on records till it finds the first one that's equal to bill. An index is entirely different. Indexes work entirely differently. When you pick an index and you type B, I, let's just type B. When you type B as the first letter in an index and you hit enter, FilePro goes to the very first record that starts with a B in that indexed field. It doesn't have to stop on every, it doesn't have to stop on the first 300,000 records. If this record is the 10 millionth file of the record in the file, FilePro would still come to it directly immediately. And it's because it's using that index. It knows how to function with indexes. If I press the down arrow, I'm going to get the next highest alphabetical customer code. And if we look at the format that we've made here, let me see, I press the down, I'm going to press the browse key, the bottom key. I went to the bottom of the file. Let me go 4 by index, hit enter. I'm going to hit B for bill. I got the bill record. Now I'm going to browse. You see that the very next record is G, and then another G, and then a J, and then S. It's alphabetical, absolutely alphabetical. If I stop in the file somewhere, I'm on a G record. If I press the down arrow, you know that it actually says index mode over on the left. If I press the down arrow, I'm going to get the next alphabetical record that way. If I'm here on this record and I press the up arrow, I'm going to get the next alphabetical record that way, and so on if I keep pressing the up arrow. If I press the up arrow one more time, what am I going to get? I'm going to get an A record. Above that, there's nothing. A blank space is less than an A when it comes to an index. If I browse here, we'll see that I'm in that group of records that are all blank. There's no organization to them. This is a big problem. When you absolutely have to have a unique code, for every record, you need to assure that every record gets that unique code. So we're going to go in and define some processing that will absolutely guarantee that we add a unique code, customer code, to every record. Let's go into define processing. And once we do that, we're going to index that field. Actually, we're going to index that field first. I take it back. We're going to go into index maintenance. Let's go to C, and we'll go to automatic indexes. Automatic indexes mean that they hold every single record in the file. You saw me build one a second ago. I'm going to pick A again. I'm going to rebuild it. Here's field 19. It's saying that it's 8 characters long and it's not descending. I press escape, and it builds that index. Just as a quick overview, there's only one other kind of index. It's number 2, a demand index. Now if I pick this type of index and I can have 0 through 9 here. If I say pick the 0 index, now it wants to know which field you want to build it on. Let's build it on the same field, on field 19, customer code. Okay, and that's fine, and I'll press escape. But now I get another question which says, do you want to select all records? An automatic index always selects all records, period. Every record is in an automatic index. But a demand index, we're going to say no to this, and we're going to be able to say which records we want to include. It's a standard selection set that you're used to. I will go to the field which says to fields. I'll look at fields, and let's say I only want to select in this demand index, which is based on the company code. I only want to pick records where I didn't see anything really good. Let's say we're the state. How about state 7, where the state equals about Nevada. Okay, escape. Now I'm ready to hit enter and do this. It goes ahead and it builds that index. If I go into the file now, I go to Inquire, Update, and Add, and I look at the indexes. I have 2 indexes to pick from. The A index, which is every record in the file, and if we go look at that index and I browse, you'll see every record, 2, 3, a lot of records, 45, 47 records are in here. If I go back to indexes and I pick this other demand index, and I know it's a demand index because it starts with a number instead of a letter, now I pick that and I hit enter, and now I browse. You see that I only got 2 records. And both these records, if we were to hit enter, obviously are Nevada records. There's 1, and if I press the down arrow, I get 2. If I press the down arrow again, I go back out to nothing. There's nothing there to get. Obviously, if I press the enter key, I'm going to get the same deal. Out of this index, I'm only going to see these 2 records. All the records are still obviously in the file. I've just indexed them in a certain way that says I only want these 2 in that demand index. That's the major difference between automatic indexes and demand indexes. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you a little bit more about indexes, how to build a little bit more into them, and then I will show you how to build a unique customer code, the lesson after that, using indexes.